All right, problem 13. A clean air standard requires that vehicles' exhaust emissions not exceed specific limits for various pollutants. Many states require that cars be tested annually to be sure they meet these standards. Suppose state regulators double-check a random sample of cars that a suspect repair shop has certified as okay. They'll revoke the shop's license if they find significant evidence that the shop is certifying vehicles that do not meet certain standards. So in this context, what's a type 1 error? What's a type 2 error? Which type of error would the shop's owners consider more serious, and which type might environmentalists consider more serious? Okay, well, first thing to do when we're doing type 1 or type 2 error is what's the null and what's the alternative hypothesis? Okay. Well, the null hypothesis is that the proportion of cars that meet a certain standard equals something. So we're going to do the null hypothesis as the shop is meeting emission standards. Okay. So what's the alternative? Well, the shop is not meeting emission standards. Okay. So the first question A, well, what's a type 1 error? A type 1 error, remember, is that H of O is true. So the shop is meeting emission standards, but we conclude that it is not. That's a type 1 error. B, what's a type 2 error? Well, a type 2 error, the alternative is true. So the shop is not meeting emission standards, but we find that it is. So C, which one is the shop owner not going to be happy with? Well, a shop owner is not going to be happy if he is meeting standards and we find out he's not. So that would be a type 1 error. Part D, what part would an environmentalist not be happy with? Well, that would be the shop is not meeting emission standards, but we find that it is. So that would be a type 2 error.